fact, the gentleman in the ball cap in the back row is the owner of the property.
Okay, perfect.
No, sir. Blue shirt. That was the back row.
You must be doing those numbers on there.
No, no.
Are you saving yourself a trip downstairs?
No, I was going to, yeah, I'm going to copy this for you, so you have it. But, you know, these people that
Just
don't, you know, don't do what they're supposed to. Property address, and they put their name.
Yeah.
And I flipped these because they were putting the property address on it. I'm like, what do I do? You know? Okay.
Go ahead, sign in.
I just have one question for Dan.
Okay, and, oh, you're not having a case call?
I am, but my dog, he was in surgery for a tumor removal, and I got to go get him. Dan, I told Dan I may or may not.
Go ahead and sign in, and I'll cross your name. Let you know that day.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna follow him down the elevator.
Well, they
He
weren't
signs
doing
in.
that. I gotta go.
Or actually, they probably do. Please, print your name clearly, so I know how to spell it.
Okay.
I don't want to give you your signatures. Dan,
Hey, Dan.
sorry.
Dan. Hey, Dan.
Oh,
He's a wanted.
he's got a dog that's in emergency surgery.
I just got the call. So, I can say that.
Yep.
Please print your name clearly.
I did.
He's gonna bring, here we go. A mic that they, agreeable to what we said. Basically, it's gonna be, we're gonna leave it on the Board of Appeals unless you have
Are you
your,
an attorney?
I am.
the submitted by the end of, 28th of November.
I appreciate
Or
it.
28th
I have been in courts
is the
today.
day to look at.
I went over my Sorry.
See what number you are on the list here.
No.
Right.
So this here, yeah, I'll say yes and no. If he postpones it,
You
then
want
we
to
come
follow us?
back to it. You looking for me?
Of course, always. You're the only one that answered my email.
Okay. You must be,
Thank you.
Cadillac and
Virginia, Cadillac's in section 2, Virginia. I
no,
actually have a-
Cadillac was, they were moving out when we were there.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says, the veteran goes, well, I was. And, they appeared to be just
Hopefully.
packing stuff
Yes.
up and moving
Okay.
out. The
Good.
cars were out of the driveway and there was nothing that you could see personal anywhere.
Okay, good. And Virginia, I have a report today, and I talked about a dog food, but
Okay.
he wants one for spring time, yeah.
Well,
It's been a joint couple weeks, that one, so.
okay, I think what I might have to do on that one is push code enforcement and business license. I mean, business out of-
Oh, because they're doing that, yeah.
Mhm. You
Yeah,
know?
he wants, yeah. He wants. I mean, and I think, man, once we get home, so, you know, he wanted to say something. I'm like, dude, I don't think I can do that. So I said, let me see what I can do. And I want to to move voluntarily, so it's easier, but, so what are we doing on these, you know?
Recommendation is for postponement because you are working, you're trying to get them out so you can, we understand that the work that you have to do, the house, having an occupant in it is, yeah, truly. But when we were at Cadillac, they were, he said he was moving out a little bit. And, so I had the paperwork. Well, as I said, the stuff that had been around the house was gone.
That's good. Thanks for making progress.
So if you want-
Virginia, he's, yeah.
No, Virginia, he's
Pain in the ass.
entrenched in.
How many times I have to sign up?
I will include that. I will include it, starting with statement. If you want me to, I can share it with myself. Want to go down? Sure. Okay, so then, you want to follow us back?
Has anybody not signed in on a sign-in sheet? Oh, you haven't signed in yet?
Oh, no, we just,
Okay, so far you're the last ones. Is there anybody behind you? You?
No, I only have friends.
But did you sign in?
No, I mean, I don't know the sign.
Okay, so we'll call you guys last. I'll tell him when he gets up here. It's okay. But let me get your name and the property number.
Margaret Otrasetta.
Oh, what property is it?
Mine is this one, 26 Tacoma,
26 Tacoma?
Yeah.
And how do you spell your name?
ARSHI.
That's the first name. What's your last name? E?
A
A as an apple?
T I.
That's it?
26 Tacoma, right? Yeah.
26 Tacoma. Yep. Okay, and which one are you?
44 Saginaw Street.
44 Saginaw Street. Do you know if she was here before you or no?
441 Saginaw Street.
441. Okay, thank you. And Percado, right?
Yes.
And your first name?
Margaret.
M-A-R-G-A-R-O.
Garo.
And your first name?
Oh, no, that's his name.
Oh, okay. Your first name?
Alejandro. Or you can put Alex.
A-L-E-X, and then the same last name.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Do you know Stan gonna be long or?
He's just copying the sign-in sheet. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Go get it. What time is it that you have to leave?
Yeah.
Can we also, type a statement and email it to me? Whenever you're ready.
Got some work to do on
Can we start without Larry or not? We can do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yep, we can get started. Yeah.
We'll call today's hearing to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
When your case is called, please come to the podium and announce your name.
'88 Summit is a single-family house. It was posted on 9/29 of 2022. Was a dangerous and dilapidated structure. It is appears to be occupied. Roof, siding, trim, soffits, windows, and garage are all dilapidated. And open to the elements. The chimney is also dilapidated. It's overgrown, debris, unkempt, broken windows. Rear porch lacks railings. The gas meter's on, the electric meter is on. Our recommendation is to be placed on the demolition list as no effort has been made to get anything done.
Okay, your name, please?
I'm Helena Melnick, and I live there. And
I'm sorry, you need to speak in the microphone.
oh, I'm Helena Melnick, and I live there. That's the house I grew up in. I'm fixed income, poor, and all that other good stuff. I've done some of the yard work myself. It's been very difficult having reliable people come and help. I have had a lot of promises and a whole lot of no-shows. I did recently find one person, though, on the plus side who seems reliable enough to help me with the yard work. I've made several inquiries. I am on the waiting list for Habitat for Humanity to help. And the thing is I have to keep waiting. In the meantime, I've tried my own do-it-yourself things. I repaired the stairs. I do have plexiglass in the windows. I was unaware of the chimney.
You have what on the window?
I have plexiglass. They're not open. I was unaware of the chimney, and I repaired the front stairs, and I made a call to have someone help me repair the railings. Each stair has 2 slats, and my house has had a lot of vandalism. The slats on the front stairs have been ripped up repeatedly. I fixed those, and just a few weeks ago, I just gave up. Someone ripped the top step off that I had repaired. It just wrenched it. So I tightened the screw again, and I have patio stones for leverage because I fixed it. My patron saints of self-repair seem to be Lucy and Ethel. I just, give me a hammer and nail and a bucket of plaster because Anyhow, last winter I was fortunate enough to find sliding scale fee clinics, so once or twice a month I do go get some counseling to help me with the panic attacks and the feelings of helplessness. I've had a house, and I've seen this on other houses too in the neighborhoods. There are house numbers missing, mailboxes hanging askew or just gone entirely, mail thrown on the front, on the porch instead of put in the box. I've seen slats kicked out of railings. One house had concrete stairs, and the bottom one had a hole in it. So it's really nothing new. I just got slammed all at once, I guess. Seeing my repair wrenched up again, I did tighten the screw, and I do have fasteners of a kind that have to be put on. But that was the final blow. So I notified Habitat for Humanity. I emailed them to let them know I want to volunteer before my name comes up on the list, because I think for someone as dense as I am, in ageism, I'm wondering too if ageism might not have something to do with it. I'm small, I'm old.
Ms. Melnick? Do you know when you'll hear from Habitat from Humanity?
No, I don't. That's why I emailed them. I think for someone as rattled as I have been for the last month, that, maybe I really should have a physical presence among people who are familiar with those repairs and what I'm going through. So I haven't heard back from them, and find out what their hours are. I'll just keep annoying them until they take me on, because I would really like to find at least a reliable handyman who's affordable. And
In the meantime, while you're waiting for Habitat for Humanity, can you trim back the weeds and clean up
I
some
did
of
the big
garbage?
chunks.
I can see you've done some, but can you continue to do that? Clean up
Yeah,
the overgrowth?
Yep. There's one side of the house, there are a few little tiny saplings there, and I did get the lawn mowed by this miraculous man who said he'd do it, and he actually showed up. So that was nice, but that's all I can offer. And like I said, I'm not the most macho person. When I cut down the big piece of the overgrowth, I felt like such a man. And that's about as far as it goes.
Okay.
Me
Well,
and the lopper.
We'll hold this over until our January meeting next year.
Okay, but
But
any
please
any referrals I could get maybe to speed the
Yeah.
process up, I'd really appreciate.
Please trim back the overgrowth. You've got garbage pickup, so you can put it out for the garbage
Yeah.
and clean up the debris around the home. And hopefully by January, we'll hear some response. If not, we may have to move this on to the Board of Appeals, because the front porch is in serious disrepair.
Yeah, and I'm very concerned about it.
Maintenance inspection.
Okay. Can you pay for the property maintenance inspection?
No, not now. I mean, I had to pay these maintenance. The man who did the other thing, I that's another thing that has me so rattled. I've had personal and financial setbacks.
Do you think you'll have the money by January?
I'd like to say I would, but if the car breaks down or something, the heating bills, I don't feel very secure right now. So I don't know if you could put in a good word with Habitat even. I'd appreciate that.
The
Yeah.
problem is I don't want her doing things that aren't required to be done. In other words, the property maintenance inspection will tell her things that she has to do.
Well, so will they.
And-
They do that too. They have,
I think the porch is an obvious, fixing the
well,
steps
yeah.
is probably the most important thing here. And let's hope that Habitat for Humanity comes through.
yeah, they're pretty good. When they
So-
first came to Pontiac, I volunteered with them for about a year, and they have some pretty good skilled trades people.
Okay.
That, of course,
So-
that was a million years ago.
Yeah.
But
So-
I appreciate the patience and understanding. It's,
Yeah. So we'll hold this over until our January meeting. Make all effort to get with Habitat for Humanity. If you can fix the steps yourself, do that. Save some money for the property maintenance inspection because we will require that at the next meeting, okay?
okay.
So you've got 3 months to try to save up the $250,
Just 200.
$250?
$200, okay?
Okay. I appreciate your patience and
Okay.
understanding.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope you get a foot rub when you go home tonight, all of you. Thank you very, very much.
113 Florence is a duplex that was being converted back into a single-family residence. It was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It's had a property maintenance inspection. It's vacant, dilapidated, dangerous structure. Shed is was open to trespass. Roof, front porch, steps are rotted. Rear stairs are rotted and much of it missing. Multiple windows are boarded and missing. Overgrowth, debris, unkempt, animals undermining, guardrails and handrails are an issue. The gas meter is gone, the electric meter is gone, and the lines have been cut. All the permits that have been pulled have expired, except for a mechanical. Our recommendation is to be placed on a demolition list due to the fact of any forward movement on inspections, et cetera. It seems like we're just keep kicking this down and down and down, but not getting actual work done.
Your name, sir?
Oh, Antoine Cassa.
Okay. Is there a reason we're not making any progress? So you've put a lot of effort into this
We
so
put
far.
so much effort and so much money into this. The HVAC should be in. I'm waiting for DTE to come and connect the electrical and the gas meter. We're supposed to have the HVAC in here, if not by the end of next week, the following week. And then plumbing should start within the next couple of weeks as well.
Okay,
My
but-
building permit just expired yesterday.
Yeah, it looks like your plumbing and mechanical permits are expired also, is that correct?
No, mechanical is
Mechanical is still good.
yeah,
Yeah,
electrical and plumbing is expired.
Okay,
No, we don't have electrical at all.
Oh, okay. Well, then plumbing is expired.
so when can you renew those?
I'm gonna renew. Well, HVAC is good. I'm gonna have the plumber. He said within 2 weeks he can come in and pull the permit and start the work.
Okay. If I hold this over until January, will you be done by then?
I'll have a lot of it done by then. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'll hold this over until January,
Can
but
I- can I,
update the permits and
Can I extend the building permit as well?
that's,
Yes, you'll have to.
Can
That'll
we-
be the first one you're gonna have to do.
All right.
yeah.
But can we get the debris in the back cleaned up? The same 5-gallon buckets have been there for a year.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's kind of a marker that this is the same debris.
I'm
when
gonna
the
send you a
same
picture of it
Buckets
as soon
show
as
up in the
it's done.
same pictures every 3 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
208 State is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. The vacant, dangerous, dilapidated, fire-damaged structure. The fire was from 2017. The lower walkout door and windows are making open to the elements. Many broken windows. Roof, siding, trim, soffits, doors, and windows are all dilapidated. Foundation cracks, are a concern. There have been work being done without permits, but there hasn't been any work lately done. There's an open meter box. The wires have been cut. Gas meter is gone, and the stanch is locked out. Our recommendation is to move on to the Board of Appeals, or unless they've got some financing that they're doing, there's some options that we have if it goes to the Board of Appeals.
Okay. Your name, please?
Michelle Munoz.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, you're trying to collect from a contractor,
Yes,
is that correct?
yes. Yep, we're still in the same situation we're in, just waiting to collect from him.
And are you getting any closer?
We've talked to our attorney, and they're still trying to just collect. That's all we can do is just wait.
Yeah.
What's your short-term and long-term? I mean, if they don't collect, I mean, you could be 5 years and they still haven't collected. What's down the road? What's the plan?
Try to do it ourselves, but right now we can't. We're just, like I said, we're paying a mortgage on both houses. So right now, all we can do is just wait.
The house has no electricity or gas to it?
Nothing, nope, nothing.
Okay. And I know you cite this all the time, there's open electrical and so forth. What can this couple do to at least make some of that safe or protected? Is there anything they can do without a permit?
Well, the line's been cut, so the fact there's an open meter box is not a real hazard on it. One of the things that we could do is, if it moves to the Board of Appeals, is petition to have it registered as a vacant property.
And what will that do?
As long as it's kept, mowed,
That's,
et
we already-
cetera.
Yep.
They
everything's
won't
up.
have to come back every 3 months to, basically, they'd have a year to register it as vacant and figure out what they want to do.
You live next door, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, do you want to do that? I hate to move you on to the Board of Appeals, but it does buy you a year where you don't have to show up every 3 months to explain your situation. But what happens after a year if they still haven't collected?
Well, at that point, they're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do. I would hope that in a year's time, the attorney would have some idea of what's gonna happen, either, have written it off, or they're making payments, or something
Yeah.
is going on.
Yep.
In that length of time, so.
Yeah,
But that was what Mike suggested as a possibility, because I told him, what can we do with this?
I mean,
It comes back every 3 months, and it's still in the same position that we were the last time.
well, and I hate,
Yep.
I hate to give them a year of grace to find out that a year later they're in a worse shape than if I just keep pushing this back every 3 months. So,
It's your call.
well, I don't have experience with the Board of Appeals. What do they do in situations?
Well, again,
What kind of leeway do they give
they,
homeowners?
we can't do the vacant here, which they can do at the Board of Appeals, according to Mike. So that's the option of moving it forward. If not, then we have to figure out what you want to do on it.
But at some
Okay.
point,
Yeah.
Can you just give us another 3 months, and next time we come, we'll bring our attorney with us so he can explain everything.
Yeah. I have to say, of all the properties that come here, this property for being vacant is maintained at least.
Yeah.
you
Yes,
know?
it is, yeah.
It's clean, and there's no garbage, and there's no
Nope.
weeds,
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I was suggesting the vacant property,
Yeah.
was because you do maintain it in the
Mm-hmm.
condition you do.
I have no problem moving this to January.
Okay.
And pushing it. That gives you time to discuss amongst yourselves what you would like to do.
Okay.
Talk with your attorney. I just want to make sure that you don't end up in a year from now in
Yeah.
a more critical condition than you are now.
Yep, correct.
So, okay. We'll hold this off until January then.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. 63 Miami is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. Vacant, dilapidated structure, particularly the garage is extremely dilapidated. A hole in the garage roof makes it open to the elements. Still some overgrowth, debris, unkempt. Gas meter is locked out, the electric meter is on. our recommendation is, because they've got some open permits, to postpone this to the January 11th, 2023 hearing officer.
Okay, your name, please.
My name's Jan Hoagie. I'm representing Oliver Dudley, who's the homeowner.
Okay, and are you getting any closer to finishing?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Dudley actually gave me a list, so kind of like probably as encouragement, like yes, we are making progress. So he made a list of all of the original complaints, and then what's been accomplished. So the roof's been replaced. The neighbors had a car and a boat in the driveway that was removed. The rear porch has been repaired. The electrical system has been upgraded and it's now up to code. There was overgrown landscape that's been addressed. Gutters and downspouts have been installed. Let's see. The plumbing system is about halfway repaired or replaced. Trash in the yard is gone. The garage door was secured. There was a fallen tree in the backyard that was removed. And then mold and asbestos in the basement has been removed. So the two outstanding key things are the damaged garage, which is in very bad disrepair, and the plumbing system completing that process. We had problems with the first contractor. So the progress is that since the last hearing, the gutters and downspouts were replaced. A sump pump system and a basement drainage system was put in, which wasn't part of the initial complaint, but was important to do. And we do now have contractors in line for the plumbing and the garage repair. As everybody says, it's really hard to find contractors. It seems half of them say we don't serve Pontiac or we don't serve historic homes, or but we think that these two contractors are going to be good. They're kind of backed up, so hopefully, and it is hopefully, like in the next month, they'll get to us, and we'll get the garage repaired and the plumbing completed. And then we also have a contractor lined up for heating. It's a boiler system, so that's lined up, and then the final steps. I do have two questions. A friend of mine who's in development said that it would be good to ask if you're aware, if there are any funds for ARPA monies for historic homes or just for repairs in general. I don't know.
Dan, that would,
Don't
That's
know.
nothing the building department is involved in. You might check community development, see
Community-
if they know of something.
Okay. Okay. And then also, does Pontiac have, is there any system in place for replacing water mains that have lead? Is that
That's
something
through
else?
Oakland County Water and Sewer is the water department for the city of Pontiac.
Okay, right. Okay. All right. And then I think the final thing is that I think the building permit needs to be updated, which I'll do
Yes,
this
and,
week.
and if you can get the two from Foundations of America
Yeah.
finaled out, it shows a lot if they get them finaled and.
Those
pass
have
or-
not been finalized? Oh, my gosh.
So I'm saying it's not showing that forward progress that we really would like to see.
So you're talking the permits for the gutters and downspouts
Correct.
and the whole system that.
Yes.
that
And
has been
they're going to expire, and now they'll have to be renewed before they get it. So it's much advantages to get
Yeah.
the work done, get your inspections.
Right, right. And I had the impression that those were already inspected. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
okay. So we'll hold this over until January again, and hopefully by then, everything but, well, maybe including the garage will be done.
Yeah. I think that is highest priority
Okay,
right now, yeah.
good luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
go off the record. You really need to contact the historical,
Oh, yeah,
HDC.
yeah, for the garage.
They,
Because you could put the wrong roof on there and that's off if it is a historic house.
no, the house, everything's fine. I think the only thing you're concerned about was the garage. When you go, well, when you go to do the garage, yes, we'll make sure that the materials used are, I think you met the historical district out on site once before.
Right.
And you were correct me if I'm wrong, you were gonna be using the same materials as you had on the house, as
Right.
far as matching the same roof,
Actually.
et cetera, so, but you might, when you go to do that, check with making sure that's still,
Yeah, I appreciate that reminder. We actually had a contractor recommended by the Historic District Commission, but he's no longer, I guess, in business. So, yeah, thank you for that reminder. That is critical. All right, thank you.
1254 University was a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022.
Did you skip,
University.
you skip Wilson?
Oh. And Wilson. Oh, put the papers in the wrong one, flipped it over. Sorry about that. 217 East Wilson. This is a single-family property that was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It was a vacant, dangerous, dilapidated, fire-damaged structure. The garage is making it open to trespass. There's also a window that making open to trespass and open to the elements. Roof, siding, windows, doors, porches, soffits, and trim are all dilapidated. Overgrown, debris, unkempt, animals undermining, again, broken windows, abandoned vehicles. They had been working without permits. The gas meter is locked out, the electric meter is off, and the wires have been cut. They have had their property maintenance inspection, have made application for the building permit. And our recommendation is to hold it over if the building permit that they need is taken care of by the end of the month. If not, we've been, I think, since the last meeting, trying to get the building permit straightened out.
Okay. Your name, please?
Letitia Lewis.
Okay.
And for the record, the yard should be taken care of. It has been being maintenance. Now there is debris, like I stated the last time that I was here. We had someone dumping in our yard. So we're actually still cleaning up that debris from when they ended up dumping after we hauled everything out prior to that. We have started, like you said, on the building permit. Now, what are you asking to be done by end of month?
The building permit,
Larry, paid
Because
for?
we've already submitted that, so
Ma'am, are you the owner of the property?
I am, myself and Teresa.
Your
Absolutely.
name is on the property now? I think
We are
were looking for
still,
document for that.
I'm sorry?
We were looking for documentation saying that your name was on the house. when you-
No, what you had did was you advised myself and Teresa in regards to moving forward with the property since I purchased the property prior to all of this occurring. But we are still moving forward with the process, and that is also worked out because this has to be sorted out as well.
She's not the owner of the property.
so
I am
Well,
the owner of the property. But I understand what you all have been saying and were saying, but I just kind of want to bypass that because it's okay.
well, I
We have
think
that
this
worked
is,
out.
this is the critical issue here.
What's the
and-
critical
and-
issue?
You paid for a piece of property, but you never got title to the property, and that's where the problem lies. You need to get the property entitled in your name. And Ms. McCray is the former owner of the property,
That's correct.
and she's never deeded that property to you.
Right.
She needs to do that. And without having your name on the property title and having the deed to the property, the building department can't issue the building permit, am I correct?
Well, it was for, if she's the one that's doing all of that, then yes, because Teresa has been to several of the meetings. She's been down to your office with me. She helps me submit the documentation and paperwork. We're doing everything by the book to be able to move forward with this process, irregardless of, on my end,
Yeah.
being, I guess, secure.
Okay.
So
So is
as long as
Ms.
she's
McCray's
doing,
on the building permit, who is on the building permit?
I think,
Teresa,
Teresa's
sir,
on it.
Teresa is,
Teresa? Yeah.
we're going by the book with everything. The
So
only thing
if
is that.
she's,
But other than that, what do you
She
need to be
needs
able
a-
to issue the permit?
She needs a full scope of work. What I asked for is fire damage. I need a full scope of work. Everything is being repaired in it.
Okay.
and an actual cost of construction.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for, and
Did you provide that with the?
I need to know how many windows are gonna be replaced, how many, ceiling trusses are gonna be replaced, what wood's gonna be replaced for the rot has been burnt, so we need all that information.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Scope
This
of-
is not my contract. He's actually
No,
working
the
on
garage,
property.
the garage didn't
Sir?
wasn't burnt.
Your name, please, for the record.
My name is Domingo Bourgeois.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Could you spell that, please?
DAMINGO.
Last name Woods,
Bourgeois. BOURGEOIS.
B-O-U-R?
No, actually, the garage did not get burnt, but
Say that.
oh no, I thought that's what he said.
But the garage is gonna have to be repaired anyway.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But we
yes,
need a
yes,
full
yes.
scope of work
Well,
of an actual
okay,
cost of
okay, but-
repairs.
Excuse me.
And I've been asking for months for this, and I'm just not getting that.
Okay.
And I can't just approve a permit saying repairing a house for 15,000, which I know it can't be done,
Oh,
or whatever, it's on there, low amount. So just give us the actual cost and the full scope of work of everything that's being done, and we can get the permit issued, and her name.
Okay, but I was finna do that, and I had asked him. He said just put in for the work that we was finna have done right now. See, the work that they was finna do right now. So that's why we just put that in for the work they was finna do like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like right now. That's what he said. So it was a misunderstanding,
I
miscommunication.
had said,
So-
in that work that you're not doing, in other words, if you weren't doing the roofing permit by others,
Okay.
everything that had to be done, you put in. But if there
Okay.
was the
But I was-
roofing or something that you're hiring someone to do for you, citing by others, he may be able to give you the approval on what's going on, knowing that you understand you need a roof.
Yes.
But you're hiring a contractor, you're not going up there to do it.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yes. I understand.
I mean, you got
Okay, I understand.
interior structure has to be repaired before the roof goes on.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the full scope of work, that's all we're asking.
Okay.
Before we
So
can-
you want that submitted by end of month? this
That's
month?
correct.
Okay.
Can you
got
do
it.
that?
Yes, absolutely. Thank
All
you
right,
very
good.
much. I appreciate
So you do that. We'll hold this over until January then.
it. Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Get you. Got one. 1254 University is a single-family residence. Was posted on 9/29 of 2022. Was a vacant, dilapidated, damaged structure. It basically got torn down. Other than the foundation wasn't taken out, there was no permit pulled for it. And our recommendation is placement on the demolition list. The owner was trying to do some cleanup and ended up taking the entire structure down and then filled in the basement. And never had any permits to do this, which, he dropped some drawings off to the building official. There was no application with it, so it wasn't a formal submittal of a building permit. But we're kind of stymied as to, we understand that he's looking to rebuild on the site, so when he's contacting the utilities, i.e. water and sewer, they can give him a letter understanding that it's going to be rehooked up to the new structure, so they don't take it all the way out, but still, needs to come out to get started with the new.
Okay. Your name, please?
Vernon Molnar.
Okay. And is there a reason you tore the house down without a permit?
Yes. Before I bought the house, I went to the building department twice and asked them, what's the feasibility of repairing the house that was on fire? And they said, we'll work with you on it. Then so I figured I had no intention on tearing the house down. I had intentions on taking out what was the fire damage material to assess the damage. Just to give you some idea of who I am. In the 80s and 90s, I was, out of 4,500 builders in the United States, I was in the top 10 for Builder of the Year. I was on Fox 2 News, Channel 7 Action News. I was in the front page of the paper. So I have a track record of doing good work. You can see all this on Facebook. I've never torn anything down. I had no intention on tearing it down. one wall led to another wall, and it got to the point where there was nothing I could save. I made a conscious effort. So I went ahead and I got the application for a demolition permit. I got the Detroit Edison shut-off letter. I got the consumer shut-off letter. Then, in order to continue on, the sewer and water, they wanted it disconnected at the road. The house is 300 feet away from the road. The sewer and water going to the house is relatively new. They put it in when they widened the road. It's cost prohibitive. I want to use the foundation that is there. I want to use the sewer and water that is there. If I can't, I'm meeting with the people from the assessing department out there, out at the site. I'm being assessed as if there's a house there right now. The surrounding vacant land is $10 a year property tax. If the building department wants to put up hurdles and roadblocks, you win. I'm not gonna, I'll throw in the towel. He said that there was an open basement. There was a little Michigan basement. I filled it in with fill sand. You can't buy bank run fill sand. I had to get state inspected sand. I have $7,000 worth of sand in the hole where the basement was. I thought it was going to take 2 or 3 large dumpsters. It took 9. Every nitpicking thing has been taken off site. This has turned into a nightmare. I was misled by the building department. The guy in the yellow vest came out to the job and says, I could have told you it had to be torn down. You should have told me before I bought the property. I was there twice. I turned in 2 sets of blueprints. I've been to the building department 7 or 8 times. I left messages. I've left my phone number. They've called me back 0. This is wrong. I've never experienced this. This is either laziness, incompetence. This is, I can't. They have my drawings. Where are my drawings at? I showed what was there. I showed a proposed foundation. I've got to reuse the foundation that's there. I got to use the sewer and water that is there. It's cost prohibitive, or else it's a dead end. And I would like to build a brick house and move into it, and then you get tax revenue, or else it just goes as a vacant lot, and it's a dead end. And I need cooperation. I need help. I just can't do it fighting the building department.
Did you have an application with those plans? A building permit application?
No, it's a preliminary plan. It was showing the demolition work. What did you do with the plans? Did you look at them? Did you call me? I left phone numbers over and over.
Sir,
Take
first
it down a notch.
of all, you're not right with your information. You tore
Correct
the
me.
Sir, I listened to you. You tore the house down. You could have came to us, said, I got to tear this down. We would have worked with you. We work with everybody in the city of Pontiac. Your information is false. We bent over backwards to help some of these residents, and you never contacted me. And I knew that house should have been demoed. It was that far gone. If you're a qualified builder, you should have known that house should have been taken down. So don't give me this line that we're not cooperating with you. We bend over backwards to help people.
All right, let me define bend over backwards. When I saw you at the job site, I came over to shake your hand. You immediately got aggressive with me and said, get your hand off my truck. This is the type of dialogue that I've had so far. That's why I'm venting right now. George, I apologize for being...
I did you a favor. I was just getting over COVID. So that's why I told you to back away from my car.
I stand corrected. I apologize. I'm in the wrong. I would like to build a house there.
The foundation that's there, was the foundation in good shape?
It is solid. When that house was built, it was professionally built, and whoever put the foundation in did a good job. I'm not going to build a new house on a crummy foundation. I filled in the basement. I want to put a slab construction and build a good-looking house, and then you'd get tax revenue. It'd be a win-win, and I'd live there.
Are the utilities shut off, the water shut off at the road?
Everything's shut off at the road, but they want me to sever it and disconnect it at the road, and I don't want to do that. I want to use what's there.
When do you expect to submit plans for new construction?
I'm waiting for the building department to review my preliminary foundation drawings and give me a yay or a nay. That's why I'm here today.
Do you
I
review
have not seen his drawings
The
yet.
drawings that were on Mike's desk,
Okay.
there was no application for anything that was there, because I asked him about it, and there was no application for a demo.
So it's okay to ignore him then. You don't call the phone number and ask.
Excuse me.
What we're going to require, if he gave us plans, since he filled the hole in already, we're going to ask for engineering report saying that foundation will hold whatever he's intending to build. That's what we're gonna require.
That foundation has already been inspected by the city when it was built. If you want to put up roadblocks and hurdles, you win. I will just walk away from here and that's it.
Let's,
Sir, that's to
let's
be
resolve
resolved.
things. I'm not gonna sit here, or I'll just move it on to the Board of Appeals. What type of, that's a concrete block foundation?
Yes.
Okay, and you say it was a Michigan basement, which tells me it was
It's only this.
4 or 5 feet deep. Okay, I assume there's a spread footing under that?
All right, there is some trench footings around it where there was an addition put on, and there's also trench footings where the garage was at. So the house was block construction, and I didn't want to continue on with block construction. That's why there was no evidence of heaving, there was no evidence of cracks.
We don't know that.
So, okay, so for you to continue on here, you submitted preliminary foundation plans?
Yes, I said what was there.
Okay. And you want to know, will the city allow you to build on that?
My thought is, that foundation was put in and it was inspected when it was installed. There is no evidence of any failures on the foundation. If I've got to dig trenches along the foundation so somebody can inspect it, that's just going to weaken it. As a matter of fact, whenever anybody pulls a remodeling permit, which I'd like to do you make them expose their foundation so you can look at them for remodeling permits? Does everyone that gets a remodeling permit have to expose their basements?
Sir, if someone pulls a remodeling permit and at the time of the inspection, we don't think the foundations is adequate, we will ask for an engineering report. That's what we're gonna ask from you.
Why don't you think it's adequate? The house stood for 50 years, there was no failures.
We don't know, you buried it.
So, well, was there a slab in the basement?
Yes, it was a slab in the basement. It's structurally there. If this is what you want.
And you had a ranch house there.
Yes.
Are you putting a ranch house?
No, I'm going to put a 2-story, 3-bedroom brick house. I'm going to put in a high-end house in Pontiac. I'm probably the only guy that's going to do that.
If Mr. Molnar comes to you with a set of plans for new construction and it's prepared, are you drawing the plans yourself?
Yes.
Do you have an architect that's going to do this?
I built the Harry Potter castle. I'm doing it myself.
So, how big will the home be?
2,000 or 3,000 square feet.
So he's under 3,500 livable?
Correct.
He doesn't need an architect or an engineer?
That's correct.
So if he prepares a set of plans and he draws what he knows to be the existing foundation, is that something you would still question the foundation on? Are you still going to ask for some sort of engineering report?
I will ask for engineering report on the basement.
Do you have an issue having an engineer look at the basement and the foundation and write a report as to what they can visually see?
I have never done this. I've never done any demolition work. This is new to me. What I could
I
do.
will tell you this, because I'm an architect, and I've gone through this multiple times for my clients.
I worked at Smith, Inchman and Grills, the oldest architectural firm in the United States.
Yeah. So the building department is saying that they would like somebody to state that the foundations are adequate for what you plan on doing. And the question is, do you have an issue doing that?
I would like, if you could give me to January to try to find somebody for this next hearing, and I'll make an effort to have something done by January.
It doesn't matter, the house is gone. I mean,
Yeah, but what I'm concerned about, a couple of things. There is some debris laying around the site.
There is zero
In the
debris.
pictures that I have here, and maybe it's gone now, but please make sure the site is clean. You
There
heard
is
me
nothing
earlier.
there.
You know, we've got somebody that's been coming here for a year and a half, and their site is always clean. Even though they can't do anything with the home, their site is clean. That's key. Number two, make sure that there's no pits or holes that somebody can fall in on that foundation. You've put sand backfill in there. Make sure that everything's tapered at a nice slope so that if any kids or anybody goes in there, they can easily get out. Maybe that's already done. I can't tell from the pictures. So that would be my requirements here. I mean, is there any reason to move this on to the Board of Appeals if the man's going to ultimately, he wants to build a new home on the foundations, and
As long as he gets his permits, and
so.
I don't see an issue with it. The house is gone.
Yeah, so we'll hold this over until January, but you know what the requirement's going to be when you come in for your building permit, and that is to make sure that you've got somebody.
A letter from an engineering
The
firm
engineering-
saying that the foundation is solid.
Correct.
Thank you. You've been very kind. And I apologize for overreacting.
Okay, very good.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you.
628 North Perry is a garage. Was a dangerous collapsing garage. It was hit by a tree. The entire structure of the garage is in need of repair. It's overgrown. There's debris. It's unkempt. Piles of debris all around the structure in front. Gas meter and electric meter is not an issue. We have had this around for quite a while. There has been no changes to it. Our recommendation is to move it onto the Board of Appeals or put it on the demolition list due to the lack of any type of forward movement.
Your name, sir?
Louis Stevens.
Okay. And are you making any progress, or have you hit the wall?
Very little. I'm on a fixed income, and with the cost of everything, I haven't had money to come down and get a new permit, so I can't do anything till I get a new permit on it. I'm working inside it still. But hopefully, I had to go back to work 5 days a week because I'm on disability, but I had to go do some other stuff. Hopefully, I'll have the money by end of next week to get the permit. I am trying like heck to cut on it, but I can't do it till I get a permit.
How are you getting access into the building?
Open the door and go in.
The man door?
Yeah, the side door there. You can go in, come out, you can slam it, you can kick it, you can hit it. It's solid.
Well, the fact that the door is on quite an angle and would be open
Well,
down,
there's-
I figured it hit the floor.
There's 2 4x6s up against that, holding that up. The big garage door you can't open, but the little service door you can open, go in and out. I still have my lawnmower in there and a couple other things. It's solid that way. I mean, I pushed on the walls with my weight to see if it would collapse, and it won't. But I still want to get it down. That's the problem. But I can't afford it right now.
Any chance you can get the car parts out of the yard? What are you going to do with those?
The Jeep engine and trans will be tore apart. Everything else around it's been cleaned. The wood's all gone, except for 2 new piles that we just cut branches up. The Jeep frame, what's left of the frame and the transmission will be torn apart, and it'll be gone.
Okay. And is this gentleman with you today?
No, I'm with Faye, representing Home American Credit.
Okay.
Just look at
The mortgage company.
I see.
mortgage company, see what you guys want to do.
Okay. So you think you'll have the money for the permit next week?
In 2 weeks.
2
Yep.
weeks. Okay.
Yeah, because I do flea markets 5 days a week,
Yeah.
and that's been slow, but I'm putting money away.
Yeah. So if you get the permit, when will you be able to get the garage down?
Hopefully within 3 weeks. Once I get the permit, I can't do nothing now with it because
Yeah.
they won't let me do it.
Okay. I hate to slow progress, you know.
I know, but you figure my age and my health, it's kind of slow.
Yeah. All right. I'll hold you over until the January meeting. Get the permit and get rest of it cleaned up, please.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Um, 584th is a single-family residence posted on 9/29 of 2022. It's a vacant, dangerous, dilapidated structure, fire damaged. Windows in the house are making it, hold on. making it open to trespass. Most of the windows are covered with a plastic or plexiglass, but there are still some open windows, siding, trim, gutters, and interior fire damage. Overgrown, debris, unkempt. The gas meter is gone. I'm sorry. The gas meter is locked out. There is a new meter box, but was no electrical permit has been pulled on the project yet. They do have a building and plumbing permit. Our recommendation is postponement, but we would really like to make sure that that house stays secure. It's very, in the past, has always had squatters in it. So it would be very much to your advantage to keep the house secured.
Your name, sir?
Amit Gujarati.
Okay. And you're progressing on repair work here?
Correct. So one correction, I think the electrical and mechanical permit should be pulled as of yesterday. That's what my contractor told me.
When I checked them about 1 o'clock yesterday, they were not pulled.
Or maybe it was
Something
after
that
1.
was done fairly late in the day.
Yeah. Because they started the work yesterday,
Okay.
the mechanical and the electrical. So scope of the work is complete rehab of the entire system. So we started on the plumbing. I got the window company to get windows in by end of the month. And we're replacing the front doors and the exterior. Yeah, the neighbors there are nice, and they have my contact information. So it's at least, except for folks dumping garbage in my driveway, there's no other issue. Anybody breaking in.
Okay. Can you make sure the windows are boarded or secured properly? I don't know if your trades are working, they open the windows.
No.
maybe don't shut
They
them.
no. I mean the exterior doors that are there, they have a lockbox, but they need to be replaced.
Yeah.
So people have been going in with the lockbox, but plexiglass is what is there on the
Many of the
window.
windows do not have the plexiglass on, and most of those windows were literally open. Like, be able to crawl through, get into the house open.
That's
The bathroom window being one of them.
Yeah.
correct.
I mean, it's in the pictures, so
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you make sure the windows are secured and make sure the site stays clean, we'll hold this over then until January, and hopefully you've made some progress.
Yeah, I intend.
You have
yes.
a window underneath the gas meter, it was open. There's a big picture window on the left side of the house,
Correct.
a window on the right-hand side, it's open. So I'm-
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there is no plumbing inside. There is no water, right? And it's got a.
But
We
again,
painted it, so I just left it for ventilation. But you're right. With those windows are working, so we've closed them. But the windows we didn't check. They are in working shape, but we're gonna have new windows put in anyway.
Okay.
I will reiterate, this house has been extremely susceptible to squatters.
Yes,
Open windows, they take as an invitation.
correct. No, agreed.
So we'll hold you over until January.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
245 South Paddock is a multiple family structure, or was a multiple family structure. It's a vacant, abandoned construction project. Let's see, some overgrowth, debris, it's unkempt, broken windows. It had been locked out, so we couldn't get close access to find out if there was a gas meter or electric meter there. Due to the fact of a lack of progress, our recommendation is to be placed on the demolition list.
Okay. Your name, sir?
Melvin Washington.
Okay. And are you the owner of the property?
Yes,
or-
I'm the owner and developer, yes, sir.
Okay. And is this a new project?
Absolutely, sir. It's actually, I built the building in 1999. At the time, with the pastor Johnny West, New Jerusalem. It's now named West Manor in honor of him. However, we had a fire in 2017, July 4th, and the building burnt down. I know there were some issues, with the water systems, what have you. But At that time, we made a decision to rebuild. That was the question, either not rebuild, demo the site, and, plant grass seeds on it and make it into, a park or whatever. So, no, but what we did, we wanted to make a commitment to build it back bigger and better. I have since then spent over $3.5 million on 4 sets of plans and drawings that have been approved by the building department. We went through that process. However, there was a delay. As soon as we got to the site plan approval process, we found they had to rezone the site. So I never, in my 45-year career, I built these buildings all over the state of Michigan. I've never had an insurance claim, okay? So it was new to me. So I thought we can catch them, it caught on fire, we tear it up and rebuild it. It did not happen that way. So we found out we had to take a year and a half to go through the community support, the site plan approval. They had to change it from R2 to R3. I think your consultant changed the zoning where you could not use an existing R2 to put up a multi-story senior building. So we went through that process. That took all of 2018. And then we got a building permit. We got plans stamped from the building department that was done in 2019. And then the great pandemic hit, all right? And when the pandemic hit in January, it shut us down. The city closed down immediately. I think they stayed from that January of 2020 to, I don't know how long you stayed shut down, I guess. But we kept making progress. So what I made a commitment was to show good faith that I was going to proceed with this facility. We went on, pulled the permits. Larry has been our inspector. We put up the elevator, the stairwell shafts, 4-story. We put in a new foundation system. We are going bigger and better. It was 2-story. We're going up 4 stories. So we've gone through the whole entitlement process. Have had some delays, which caused by surprise. The biggest issue was with the getting our building permit say go, go, go. However, then when your civil engineering department came back through their consultants, and then when your fire review through Waterford, they came back and said, well, we got to have a fire lane. You got to make the retention pond 10 feet deeper, so large. Increase the cost of the building to about 2.5, 2.6 million is what we're dealing with right now in the additional cost. We are not walking away. That is an option for us to completely rip out the foundation. I have a demo bid for $100,000 that would take the property down, plant grass seeds on it. No, that's not what we do. We're committed to doing it. Now, let's talk. There's a major issue I have here. My issue is we're waiting because there's been a lot of change in the administration. We got caught up in the transition. I know this administration is super busy. I was working with Lynette Phillips. She was pushing everything through. Now she's gone, all right? We were requesting our pilot, our payment in lieu of taxes, right? So we've done multiple projects like this through the State Affordable Housing Act Authority, and so we need a pilot. Now, I already have a pilot. The pilot is resolution still active. However, it needs to be amended because we had a fire 15 years into the deal, and now we just want to move it. Now I guess there's a mandate, no more pilots going in the city. I know, so I'm caught, right? So how much more money do I put into the deal? You know, I got a permit that's going to expire on the 15th. I came in Friday on the September 29th, pulled to upgrade my permit to keep the job moving. You know, it definitely is moving. Not what I'm used to. I've been doing, if you move slow in construction development, you definitely lose money. I haven't gone as fast as I can under the dynamics that I got. I got a complete timeline that if you want to, get a crash course in how from day one and every step we went, Oakland County, the water, the DEQ, we had to go through all those approvals. I don't think the building department is aware of that. They just want me to just go ahead and build it, but they don't understand about the other approvals, nor the pilot that's a mandatory to build affordable housing. So that's where we're at.
How big is this building?
This building is over 90,000 square feet. 4 stories, going to be the most fabulous. Like the first one I did in 2000, I did Colonial Metals with the major company I was working for back in the 1980s. So I put I was a superintendent like my son, he's training now. But we did the first one under Centrum Development. That was called Colonial Metals. I've been on my own now for 25 plus years, and this is what I do.
Okay. So this is here because of lack of progress, but it has a valid building permit?
Well,
Yes.
I know it's lack of progress because they did the foundations I don't know where it stopped.
It's
That's why I was, when I seen you in the hall, I'm thinking.
yeah, like I don't even know why I'm here, right? But and
According to Mike, it was the abandoned, reason was abandoned construction project.
Well, was prior, but since June, they've been working on it.
Yeah.
Is that when you started, sir, back in June?
Yeah. Actually, we've been working on it for the last. We put the year last probably about the first permit had to be in December. We built the 4-story elevator. The elevator shafts and the stairwells. That's what we did first. We're slow walking it till we get it to the process, right? So we're using existing foundation. I left the initial entry of this building up, right? 1 is my control point. 2, it houses my electrical and my mechanical department system. So I didn't want to, we're still using that. It's still got DTE power. We connected that back up. We still got water. We're ready. We're just needing some help. Either we're going to get a pilot, either I'm going to get my pilot amended so that I can build a 90-unit affordable housing with rents at 50 to 60% AMI, which is almost literally impossible to do today. But I'm mandated to do that because of the regulatory agreement that I have with the state of Michigan. For perpetuity or 99 years, that site must stay affordable.
So you've got, are you familiar with this at all? You have your engineering approvals, your site plan approvals?
We got everything approved. Finally, we had some issues with the DEQ and all that on the retention pond expansions and depth. So we have all our approvals. Back in February, we even got the final site plan approval because they had based it on getting all the other sub-approvals. Yes, we have all our approvals. Only thing is missing is the pilot and saying, if someone would have said, not Mr., just call me Mel, if you wouldn't, don't rebuild the building and go somewhere else and build it somewhere else.
I say if he gets the pilot taken care of, let's continue on.
Do we need to postpone this until January, or do we just walk away from it now?
I would say let's postpone it to January, make sure
January,
that it's moving
everything's done.
forward.
Okay.
If it's in January, if he's doing it, then we can address how we want to handle it that
Yep.
time.
Okay.
And as I tell everybody, keep the site safe and clean.
Yes, sir. We have a professional contract, keeping the grass cut, but I still need help, right? I understand the construction side. If we don't get the pilot, we cannot build affordable housing.
Did you talk to Mike?
No, no. I talked to Mike on several occasions.
How about Donovan?
Yes, Donovan and Miss Lynette Phillips. I know it's been a change now. So again, I'm not like that other gentleman. It's been difficult. It's definitely been difficult. But the reality, Donovan knows the history. I talk to him about once a week, Mr. Smith. Lynette Phillips was about to take it. The next step was to take it to City Council for November and to do the hearing 1 and hearing 2. She's gone. So now, out of fairness, I met Ms. Lochran at the desk with Mike last Friday when I said, what's going on? I got this thing. So she's now doing her due diligence. I think she's gonna, so I'm diligent waiting on her to say, hey, yes, city's gonna honor the pilot and we're gonna move. And I said, I don't want a new pilot because I heard the mandate is a new pilot. I have an existing pilot that it's been around for 15 years. It still has over 30 years left on it, right? But it needs to be amended, and that's all I need. If I get that, we'll move full steam ahead.
Yeah, we'll postpone this until January. Hopefully, by then, you've got everything straightened around and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so nobody can help me get
Ra-
to the
Rachel's
council?
gone until-
Nobody gonna help me?
I,
Okay.
I have no authority, so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
So,
thank you very much.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. We're committed,
Good.
and we're the Phoenix too, so that's our name.
Have a good day.
176 Liberty, the single-family residence was posted on 9/29 of '22. Was a fire damaged, dangerous, dilapidated structure. Let's see, the roof and siding and porch were all dilapidated at the time. There has been a fence put up along the Mark Avenue that's not to code. The gas meter is on, the electric meter is on. They have pulled all their permits other than the mechanical. They filed out the plumbing. Our recommendation is postponement to allow work to continue, but your fencing is not to code.
The fencing?
You can't have a privacy fence along the roadway like that.
Okay, so what we gotta do, take it down? First of all, for the
Name,
record,
please.
my name is Emery Nichols,
Thank you.
the owner of 176 Liberty.
Thank you.
Get with Donovan,
Okay,
and he'll tell you what you need to do on your fence, sir.
okay,
Okay?
say that again, now who?
Donovan Smith.
Okay,
Fencing along that area needs to be opaque, meaning a chain link, a picket fence, a wrought iron fence, something, as you pull out the driveway, and there's a 3 or 4-year-old on a tricycle going down the sidewalk, there is no way on God's little green you're gonna be able to see them.
so that's gotta come down, right? Okay, all right, you know,
The location is okay, but it's got to be a different type of fence, and it can only be 4 foot high as a maximum
okay,
height.
good. You know, the plumbing, that's already been approved. Are y'all familiar with that?
Yeah, plumbing's been filed out.
Yeah.
Okay, the electrical, that's all done now. In fact, I just went down there before I came in here today. That's all done. I just rescheduled for the electrical to come back out. And the mechanical, I didn't even know I needed a permit. So what we gonna do on that? I'm gonna have to come down and get a heating and cooling guy first, because the guy had it first. He came down here with Fair Heating and Cooling. Anybody familiar with him? I can't find him now. He won't respond. I've been calling him for the last week. He won't respond. That's all I got left. And as far as the building permit, everything in the house is pretty much done. I would say about 85 to 90%.
It's looking good.
Yeah, you saw it. Okay, thanks, Larry. Yeah,
It looks very good. It's just there's a few things.
I put a lot of
You
money
go
into
get your C of O on it, or CFC.
Yeah.
They're gonna knock you down because that fence is being one of them, and I just wanna
Okay.
give you some heads up.
Well, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get it down. We get it down. You know. So I think I'm just about done with this place. So I don't know the next step. I guess just get the mechanical permit and then go back down, downstairs and take care of the necessities and get the approvals from the inspector, and I'm all set. I guess I don't know.
Yep, get your mechanical taken care of. All the ones that's been final out, and then I'll come and do the building final last.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
So we'll hold this over until January, and hopefully at that time we dismiss.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Thanks.
164 Cadillac is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. Was a non-compliant structure. Let's see, trim, siding, and porch are all dilapidated. Some overgrowth, still some debris, unkempt. Missing guardrails and handrails. The electric meter and gas meter are both on. Building permit was pulled along with plumbing and electrical. However, there was residents in the structure and making it very difficult to get anything really done. When we were out there posting, the tenant that was there said they were moving out. So based on that, our recommendation is postponement to the January hearing officer to allow the owner to get access to the house to be able to do what they need to do on the inside and outside the house.
Okay. Your name, please?
Carrie Zanin, I'm actually the attorney for the owner.
Okay.
SKRE Ventures. So everything that Dan said is correct. We do have a tenant in there. I call him tenant. He calls him resident. We are in an eviction. Pontiac Court is very, 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 very behind. When I say very behind, I mean things that I filed in July are just starting to get set and will be set in January. So we are working diligently to get this done. We have the permits. That was something we didn't have last time. We have them. I I just need to get these tenants out so we can get it done.
Okay. And Larry, I'm looking, is this garage in bad shape? It's hard for me to tell in the picture.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
there are a lot
Particu-
of things on the
Particularly the
property.
back of the garage.
Yeah.
Is in,
Okay. So what you need is time.
I do.
Okay. So we'll hold this over until January, and hopefully by then you've got things resolved.
Thank you.
Okay,
as I say,
thank you.
basically, it was the tenant issue it. 90 Virginia, the single-family residence was posted on 9/29/22. Dangerous, non-conforming occupied structure. The garage is open to trespass. The garage roof and siding are also making it open to the elements. Roof, siding, trim, chimney, garage and fencing are all dilapidated, overgrown, debris, unkempt, animals undermining, again, some broken windows. Guardrails and handrails are missing. Smoke detectors were not working. There was gas meters on, electric meters on. They had a property maintenance inspection. Building, plumbing, and electrical permits were needed. Building permit was issued, but again, they have supplied paperwork showing that they are in the process of evicting the tenant that's there. We're asking to postpone it as we know that they're actively trying to do something, and having someone in the building makes it virtually impossible to get, anything done inside the house.
Okay. Your name one more time for the record?
I got Carrie Zanin on behalf of the owner. I was gonna do my court thing just there for a second, sorry.
Thank you. Okay. So we'll, same as the last one, we'll hold this over until January. Hopefully you've,
This one I have a little bit closer hand on. I had a hearing on it with the tenant today. He wants to the end of the year to vacate. That's not gonna happen in my world, but I am working to get him out a little bit quicker than Cadillac, but yes.
and I assume all the equipment and garbage is.
All of that is his, and my tenant is running a business out of his home. My client the management company has repeatedly spoken with him about cleaning it up. We have been all over him. We just need him out at this point because he doesn't comply with anybody, so.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
Appreciate it.
He doesn't have a business license either, so that's.
That I can't help with.
Yeah. No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me go off this just a second. Okay. Because I signed in two people while you were down the copying.
Oh.
I changed the order here to call them, but however, she is not here.
Okay, all right. Win victory. Oh, it was on the order here, okay. It's a single-family residence posted on 9/29/2022. It was a dangerous, dilapidated structure. It is occupied.
Excuse me, Dan, what address are you?
118 Victory.
Okay. Go ahead.
Overgrown, debris, unkempt, broken window. Both electrical and gas meter are on. They had pulled all their permits. The plumbing, mechanical, electrical are all finalized. Still just cannot get a final approval and inspection on the building permit. That's the only thing that's holding it up. The building permit has expired a while back. Our recommendation is to move it on to the Board of Appeals as no forward movement has been made to final out this building permit.
Okay. Your name, sir?
Thank you, Sam Bazzi. I'm appearing on behalf of Mr. Hall, the homeowner. So to address Dan's concerns in terms of any progress that's been made, I have with me here today some work that was contracted for, just to briefly go over some of the things that are going to be done to the home. Handrail will be a new handrail will be installed. A garage door will be replaced. Some internal things will also be done with respect to the kitchen floor, tile. Broken windows are going to be replaced and repaired. There's also going to be some new paint and trim all around the home. There's some siding issues due to some storms that occurred recently, which are also going to be addressed. So what I'm asking for here today is some time just to put things in order. I think the city would acknowledge that there are some issues previously that were addressed, such as the plumbing. There was final inspections done. Electrical work was also done. So this isn't a situation where the homeowner is completely oblivious to the issues at hand. But instead, what's happening here is the homeowner is working towards finalizing and bringing the home to an acceptable standard and condition. So with that being said, I am asking for additional time, possibly 30 days, although I don't know what the meeting schedule is like, frankly, but there is work being completed, and the work that I just listed off here today has actually been paid for already, and I have copies if you're interested in seeing that, but you know, the homeowner is working to bring this home up to an acceptable condition.
Okay. And there's a permit that needs to be
Oh, yes. Building
updated.
permit needs to be brought up to date.
Are there any other permits that?
No,
are
all the rest of the
required?
permits have finally got finalized. I mean, it takes them, 60 days to finally get the plumbing permit finalized. We have been, probably since the plumbing permit was finalized, I'm gonna say we're another 60 days trying to get the building permit finalized. More and more siding keeps coming off every time we go out there to take pictures. You have to understand the frustration level of the fact that in some respects, we're not moving forward, we're moving backward because stuff keeps falling off the house.
Well,
So,
I'm just trying to get it done.
yeah. So I'll hold this over until our January meeting, based upon your word that you've got all this work lined up, or Mr. Hall does. The one thing I always ask, and I'll ask you, please get the site cleaned up. There's broken bricks and garbage in the driveway. There is, every time this comes in front of me. I don't know if it's the tenants that are sloppy or what it is, but ask Mr. Hall to clean the site up too,
Yeah,
please.
when I showed the pictures to Mr. Hall, he was just in shock of how it looked. He goes, I will have that cleaned up tomorrow.
so
But yet, there's still stuff there.
So just recently, and this is what the contractor has told me, there was a crew on site who did some power washing, some cleaning up of the driveway, and specifically the garage area. As a matter of fact, an individual who was just here earlier, not too long ago, was the one to have completed that work. Now, I don't know when the last time you guys were at the home,
29th.
the 29th, so it definitely occurred after that. I don't have any photos or anything to present to you here today, but rest assured, if it hasn't been done, it's in the works, and there's certainly good faith efforts being put forth to resolve any outstanding issues.
Very good. Thank you.
425 Second is a single-family resident that was posted on 9/29 of 2022, vacant, dilapidated, dangerous structure. It was documented to be opened to trespass on 6/28. However, there was crews working there. It's still open to trespass, side door and the rear door. Garage eaves are open to the elements, as well as the garage door and the side door, making open to the elements. The house is full of mold. You can smell it well outside the doors. It's overgrown, debris, unkempt. The front steps are crumbling. The gas meter is locked out. The electric meter is off. And our recommendation is to remain on the demolition list.
Okay. Your name, please?
Good evening now. Andrea Cartwright, appearing on behalf of the mortgage company.
Okay. And what has happened is this
It needs a
fallen
property
into...
maintenance inspection. It's nothing, it's not moved forward to any degree.
What happened with the homeowner?
I believe it is vacant. It is currently it has been listed. They went through the eviction process. It has been listed. It is not under contract right now. It is also I spoke with the client this morning. It is my understanding that there was some debris that has been cleaned up. But it is being listed and they want to sell it as is.
Okay. And if this... Have you been in a house? I don't have any...
Without a mask, I wouldn't walk too far into the
We
house.
wouldn't go in, it was too bad.
Really?
I mean, if you can tell by some of the pictures, the mold is extraordinarily visible on the walls. And you, as I say, from 5 feet from the door, you can smell it when you walk up to the house.
Have you seen the house, ma'am?
I have not.
And
Garage is in poor
the garage is, when you talk about debris, is up to the rafters in debris. It's like everything that was outside the last time we were there, they just shoved in the garage and, oh, put the door down and it's all gone.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, it was my understanding that the mortgage company did hire someone to clean up the debris. There is scheduled to come out to do to mow the lawn. But what they're trying to do at this point, last time we were here in July, it had not been listed. It has currently been listed, and the mortgage company would like to sell it as is.
Okay. And if this moves to the Board of Appeals, anybody that buys that house has to agree to repair it or tear it down. Is that correct?
Just as they would here.
And would you feel that in any way compromises your ability or your client's ability to sell this house?
I think it would.
Based upon what you've seen from the outside, is this house at all salvageable, or do you believe that the mold condition inside is irreparable?
No, I believe the house is salvageable. Most of them all, I mean, the structure is a brick home, seems, I haven't been in, but I went to the door. And I think the home can be saved. I don't believe the garage can be. But the garage should be clean, we should have that cleaned out. Because there's so much junk in there, rats and, if we give them another 3 months, who knows how many rats can live in there. It needs to be cleaned out.
Is that something that your client can do?
Yes.
Do you think your client would be able to hire a professional to do an examination of the inside of the home as to the amount of mold that's in there and whether they feel it's safe?
I can definitely make that proposal.
Okay.
But if they, at this time, if we could request some additional time to at least clean out the garage or clean out the debris from the garage, and, not sure what progress can be made in terms of purchasing or any
Sure.
listings or offers at that time.
Okay. So we'll hold this over until our January meeting. That gives you some time to get the garage cleaned out, potentially have an assessment of the inside of the home.
And the house needs to be, the property, both house and garage need to be secured.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
26 Tacoma is a multi-family property, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. Was a non-compliant structure that was not properly registered. It is not vacant. 2 of the units are occupied. Siding, trim, roof, and shingles are all dilapidated, along with the soffits and the porches. Overgrown, debris, unkempt. Guardrails and handrails are an issue. All the gas meters appear to be on, and 5 of the electric meters were on. They did finally pull their building permit, and our recommendation is to allow them to continue on, or postponement so they can continue on. But I wanted to make sure that you understand that the other units are not to be occupied until a certificate of compliance is issued on each one of the units. Do you understand that, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and in the past you haven't, so I just wanted to make sure I have a record that you do understand you are not to move anyone in until you have a final inspection on that unit.
Okay. Okay. Your name for the record, sir?
Daniel Ati.
Okay. And we'll hold this over unless you have something to say. I see some garbage around the site. If you'd make sure that's cleaned up, please.
Okay.
And we'll hold this over until January so you can make some progress.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Could I ask you, Daniel, is it D-A-N, it's spelled
Why?
differently, is it?
Yes,
D-A-N?
D-A-N-Y-A-L.
Y-A-L.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please call those two guys, because they
Yeah.
were here
Oh.
before everybody.
Oh,
that-
sorry.
They were, remember I put a list of the orders, put it in on the left?
Yeah, but
They
the-
were first.
Well, I've got everyone on the list, other than Highwood, and
No, it's on the
No.
other, there's another list there.
No, see how I wrote a 1 right there? They were here first. Before
what,
everybody.
yeah, but what's the address?
Oh, it's number 12, I'm sorry, it's
Oh,
number 12.
I'm sorry. There was a 12. I was like, okay, that's not an
that
address.
Oh, no, it was number 8, sorry, number 8, Saginaw Street.
Saginaw, okay. And what's yours? Oh, okay. It must be the. It must be Fred. Okay. 441 North Saginaw was a single-family residence that was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It is a vacant, dilapidated, fire-damaged structure. The front entry door, our front entry is extremely dilapidated. Upper windows on the north elevation were open. Roofing, siding, boards, windows, soffit, trim, overhangs, and porches are all dilapidated. Overgrown debris, unkempt, animals undermining. Main electric service is open, working without permits on the front porch. The gas meter is locked out, the electric meter is off, with the box being open. They have made application for the building permit, and therefore our recommendation is for postponement so that they can get their building permit issued and continue work on a legal matter.
Your name, please?
The homeowner or mine?
Both, please.
Okay. My name is Alejandro Preciado.
My name is Margarito Preciado.
Okay. And we'll hold this over until our January meeting. Please make sure the windows and the doors are secured and clean up any garbage around the site.
Yes, it's, okay.
Yo the windows ya taken the order. The order de the
Okay, what
windows.
he's trying to say is he ordered the windows now, so they're going to be all replaced soon.
Okay.
Just
but-
come in the door, taking everything, just taking your order.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
He was just asking about the permit.
I'll check with the downstairs tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I spoke with you yesterday, I believe. Did I speak with you yesterday?
¿Hablaste con
Just
él?
get the full scope of work and the
I'll come
plan.
in 2 days to come in,
And bring me the plan and.
yeah, the plan
Okay.
right there.
Then we'll get
Just
going
come,
on it.
The next, por de los permisos, dile, para todos los permisos.
Sí, dijo,
Sí,
pues
okay.
nomás que vengas y te lo van a dar.
Right,
Okay,
thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, 404 Highland Avenue is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. Was vacant, abandoned structure under construction. Siding is not complete, as well as the construction is not complete. Overgrown debris, unkempt. Debris and car parts were on site at the time of posting. The gas meter and electric meter are not yet installed. Our recommendation was placement on the demolition list unless the site plan that they're working on is delivered to the office by the 28th of October. They've been quite a while trying to get a acceptable plot plan on it by an engineer, and it's been asked for a while. They gave us one that was more of just a site plan. They need a plot plan. And we're told that it's going to be finished up and available on the 20th. We're going to give them a little bit of leeway on it, but we need to move this, one way or another. So I basically told him that if he would have it to us by the 28th, we would hold this over. Not, we'll send it on.
This plot plan that you're asking for, is this an engineered site plan with
Yes.
grading and drainage?
Yes, exactly. And they say in the past, we've gotten one, apparently that was an architect drew up and didn't have what all that was needed, and he's finally on the right track. He's getting it, has an engineering firm that's doing it for him.
Who does your reviews?
No, I can Faust.
Okay. Your name, sir?
My name is Fred Calero.
Okay.
So I don't know, you guys probably know Jeremy Sutton. Jeremy had a medical emergency. He was supposed to be here. He was actually here earlier today, but I'm partner with him with this LLC. So I wanted to make sure that you guys realize that that we don't have a financial issue to finish this project. We think it would be completely inappropriate to even talk about demoing a brand-new construction that we've been trying to build, and permits were submitted back in 2020, the 5th month of 2020, approved. We built the house as is, as you can see, and we had a cease and desist, and we've been trying to get this going again, get it completed. There's nothing more we want than complete a project.
Sir, I believe I met with the owner and that back, it was in the spring of the year, and he was just going to get the site plan that we asked for and keep the site cleaned up. Well, he hasn't kept the site cleaned up. We would appreciate.
Well,
him
what we wanted to do was, if you'll notice, that the site has a lot of different elevations.
Right.
And we wanted to get approval to just level it so that it's going to be pretty and clean. It's really hard to mow when you have mountains all over the place because you guys shut us down. And then on this list, you have things like there's no siding. Well, all the siding is on the property until we got shut down. Unlike everybody else here that I've heard for the last hour, we are so committed to getting this thing done. I wish we could find a way to just move forward, because this has been kind of a lengthy
The
process.
building department is ready to move forward on, because I met the
Jeremy.
partner out there. I don't see nothing wrong with the building, the structure itself. You just need to get the site plan, and that all worked out. I'm understanding that you might have built a little bit in the front right away. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Jeremy had a medical emergency. I'm his business partner, so I'm here just to show good faith that, guys, let's not talk about demoing this. Our fear was that you guys are just gonna put in a demo list and all our investment on this property would just go to zero.
But back early in the spring, we had the same conversation. We thought it would be done by now. But at least get the site cleaned up. It's a mess out there. Get someone out there.
So yesterday, I picked up 3 bumpers that our neighbors in the community have chosen to use as a dumping ground. It's gone. If you go drive by there today, the bumpers are gone.
So overgrown site,
The rest of
that
the
happens.
the rest of the stuff that's there is building materials, siding to
Oh, I know
complete
that.
the
I've
project.
been by there numerous times. I mean, I think you just get the site plan, let's move forward and get it done.
But we don't have a current building permit.
Yes, we
The
do.
building permit was put on hold, it was a cease and desist because of the issue with the site plan. And that's why they've been asking for an engineered site plan. They submitted one.
Who's doing yours? Do you know who's doing yours?
I don't know which architectural, which engineering firm Jeremy is using. Again, I'm kind of pinch hitting right now.
Yeah. So,
But we have every intention to do whatever needs to be done to complete this project.
so Nowak and Frous will
Review it.
review the site plan, and assuming everything's good, this is a residential project, correct?
Correct.
Or is it not?
Yes, it is.
It is.
You kind of bobbed your head there.
It's a house. You guys approved the plans. It's built as a house. I don't know why there's concern. We've had people say to us, just so you know a little bit, I'm going to vent just a little bit. Someone said that this doesn't look like any of the other homes around here. It's also 2020. It's not going to look like a house built in the 60s. And then we've been accused of, are you guys going to have a grow operation here? We're not grow operation. It's a house. The amount of turmoil that we've had to go through because people don't like the fact that we're building a house in Highland Road is unbelievable.
Well, I'm all
Well,
for it. I think it looks good.
Thank you. I think it looks great. It's got to be the best looking house there.
Probably. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done.
Get the
So
engineering
we'll-
done, get it done.
We'll hold this over until January.
Just don't tear it down.
And hopefully by then, you're submitting your site plan here by the end of October. And what's it take, Nowak and Frous? 30 days on a turnaround?
Oh, they've been asked, they're gonna do it on a day.
We need to do it quickly because we're still hoping to literally get our contractors back and finish it before the winter. I mean, we want to get this
When I
done.
sat down and talked to him today, because I wanted to know a date, he said if they have it in by the 28th, he gives us the 30th or 31st for Nowak and Frous to make the approval, and enough time to figure out if it's gonna go onto the Board of Appeals, if it's got all the bells and whistles that it's supposed to have. and they were given a list of
Okay.
what was deficient on the plan, so we're assuming
And-
that they got everything, they're gonna have it
If the site plan gets approved,
if held over.
how long before you reactivate the building permit?
They
Immediately?
can do it the next day.
Next day.
Okay,
So,
Yeah.
as soon as you get notice that your site plan is approved, please come in, get your building permit, then you can
Thank you.
get back at it.
thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
That's it?
That's it.
We've got a speed round now.
Yes. 636 LeBaron is a single-family residence. It was posted on 9/29 of 2022. The building had been renovated without permits. It is occupied. Gas meter's on, the electric meter is on. They finally have come in and were given the building permit on the 11th of yesterday. They paid for it and got it taken care of. Therefore, our recommendation is postponement to the January Board of Appeals. or
Okay,
January-
postpone until the next meeting. Tell them to trim the trees.
750 Lounsbury Avenue is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29. It was dangerous dilapidated structure. The roof, siding, trim, soffits, and rear elevation were all exposed. The roof has now been taken care of. Siding, trim, and soffit work needs to be done. The rear elevation is still exposed. There is some debris, unkempt, lack of hand railing on the front porch. The gas meter is on, the electric meter is on, it is occupied. We had recommendations to be placed on the demolition list if no commitment was made to get this thing finished. The occupant's sister was in to plead her brother's case, asking if we possibly would postpone it. He apparently gave the contractor the funds to do the back of the house. They put the windows in, and he hasn't been able to get them back since. And the property owner was working tonight and wasn't able to make it in, wasn't able to get his schedule changed. And she said that, he's scrambling to try to get him back out, to get it finished, but they're not responding to his calls. I did tell her that, find out what the company's name is, if they have a builder's license. Although they pulled the permit, the homeowner pulled the permit as having the contractor work on his license. I said, if they don't respond, contact Lara.
Okay. So you want to postpone until January?
If you want to, yeah, we can.
Yeah, we'll postpone until our January meeting then.
And 148 Ottawa is a garage. It was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It was a non-conforming accessory structure. The house was demolished due to a fire, and the owner was planning to rebuild. This was sold at the county auction. The new buyer has not come forward with any plans or any indication of what they're planning to do. There's some roof shingles that are missing. The gas meter, electric meter is non-applicable. Again, the primary structure, which the house was demoed, so making this a non-complying structure. So our recommendation is to be placed on the demolition list.
Place on the demolition list. It's kind of a nice looking garage.
It was a beautiful house.
So maybe the new buyer will buy it,
It's been bought, and it was, the notice was sent to the new owner. 99 South Shirley is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It was dangerous dilapidated structure. We're not sure if it's vacant or not. We heard noises inside as though it might be occupied. Siding is missing, and some windows are boarded. The porch siding and windows are all dilapidated. Overgrown, debris, unkempt, unsafe structure. The porch column is literally missing. The gas meter is on, the electric meter is on, and our recommendation is to be placed on the demolition list.
Place on the demo list. You skipped 89 Ruth.
Oh, I had these, okay, yep. My order was from the old into the new, but we can go to the Ruth. 89 Ruth is a single-family residence, was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It's a vacant, dangerous, dilapidated structure. The roof, and part of it is open, making it open to the elements, as well as the cracked windows, foundation, chimney, soffits, and trim. These are all also dilapidated. It's overgrown, debris, unkempt, animals undermining, bricks are falling off the chimney, the gas meter is on, the electric meter is on. Our recommendation is to be placed onto the demolition list.
Place on the demolition list.
In 103 Union is a single-family residence. Was a vacant, dangerous, dilapidated structure, broken windows, a hole in the roof, missing wood. The roof, which of those items are making it open to the elements. The roof, siding, windows, and trim are all dilapidated. It's overgrown, debris, unkempt. Again, broken windows. There was a homeless person living in a tent in the backyard. First floor door and windows are boarded. The gas meter is locked out and the electric meter is off. Our recommendation is to be placed on the demolition list.
Place on the demolition list.
And 321 West Walton is commercial property. It's a car wash. It was posted on 9/29 of 2022. It was a vacant, dangerous, fire damaged structure. There still has some boarded windows. They had pulled a building permit for the exterior of the building and have pretty much finished the exterior except for some overhead doors. The gas meter is gone, the electric meter is gone. A lot of the debris around it has been cleaned up. Our recommendation is to remain on the demolition list. And again, we're thinking that he's looking at selling it. Mike said if he moves it to demolition list, they could register it as vacant at that point and not have to be coming back here every 3 months.
So move on to the Board of Appeals.
Yeah. Board of Appeals.
I don't understand this one. It's got to be a money maker. Not a big money maker, maybe, but a money maker.
Yeah.
They'd get the
And
thing
he
open.
has several car washes. I mean, this isn't his only one.
Yeah, well, move on to the Board of Appeals.
And other than the, you had mentioned earlier that the 2023 calendar looked to be okay.
I have no objections to it at this point in time.
Okay. That is all we have.
That concludes tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Yes.